Okay, go ahead. We're on.
Okay, Joanne, thank you. And good evening, everybody. Welcome to the March 1st, 2023 meeting of the Danbury Planning Commission. We will open with the roll call. Ms. Hostetter?
Here.
Mr. Chiocchio, excuse me, is absent. Mr. Sylvain?
Here.
Mr. Haas has informed us he will not be attending this evening's meeting, and Chairman Finaldi is here. So we do have a quorum, but reminder, there is only 3 of us this evening. So keep that in mind when you're making and seconding motions, please. We will postpone the acceptance of the minutes. They are pending. Let the record show that the next regular meeting for the Planning Commission is scheduled for March 15th, 2023. And before we proceed into the agenda, I will read the standard Zoom introduction. This meeting of the Danbury Planning Commission is being held on Zoom as a virtual meeting. Even though this meeting is a virtual meeting, members of the public and interested parties continue to have the opportunity to participate in the meeting in a couple of different ways. You can participate via Zoom and see the audio and the video, or you can call in by phone and participate via audio only. Please be aware that we may have to mute your microphone or telephone to avoid an echo or some other background noise. Instructions on how to participate in the meeting appear on the City of Danbury website, and all of the documents and materials that apply to the matters to be discussed during this meeting, including the agenda, are also available on the City of Danbury website. As always, if you have any questions regarding how to participate in the meeting, please contact the City of Danbury Planning and Zoning Department. As a reminder, the entire meeting will be posted on and can be seen on the City of Danbury website. We will follow the posted agenda as per standard practice. If prior to the meeting, any questions or comments on agenda items were submitted via email to the Planning and Zoning Department, those comments will be read during the appropriate portion of the meeting. Finally, please remember that technology glitches do sometimes occur. Please be patient if that happens. Okay, moving forward on our agenda, Commission members, there is no new public hearings this evening, nor is there any continuation of public hearing items on our agenda. Old business for discussion of possible action. Item 1, Sugar Hollow Associates LLC. Application for revised special exception, revised site plan approval for the Shops at Marcus Dairy for 1, a new standalone fast food restaurant, section 5A2B16, with drive-through window, section 3E8, and 2, cumulative trip generation in excess of 500 vehicle trips per day, section 3E2 in the CG20 zone, 5 Sugar Hollow Road and Bacchus Avenue, G17002, special exception number 663. Commission members, distributed prior to this meeting was the final staff report, and also that was dated February 23rd, 2023, and also the resolution of approval with conditions. Jennifer, would you run us through your resolution, please?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, thank you. So you have draft resolution dated February 23rd. This is for, again, it's revised grant of special exception, revised site plan approval for the Shops at Marcus Dairy. They want to construct a 5,100 square foot, 1-story building for a freestanding fast food restaurant with a drive-through for Panera Bread, basically. Again, the reason for the grant is that's sections 3E8 and 5A2B16, which pertain to the fast food restaurant with the drive-through. And as noted in the notice, it's also a trip generator. The use is cumulatively result in greater than 500 vehicle trips. All the whereases are standard whereases. They cover the history of the project. Of special note is we received the obstruction analysis from the FAA. We were waiting for that for a couple weeks. So we now have that. The airport administrator has signed off on the project. With respect to the conditions, number 6, conditions, the planning staff report dated February 23rd. This is addresses the 2 outstanding comments that we had. Additionally, the engineering department comments are conditioned. Those are dated January 8th. Number 8, they also need a revised floodplain permit. And number 9, this is this new condition we've added pertaining to the airport administrator reviewing the plans to make sure they haven't increased the height of the building from what the FAA has approved. And number 11, prior to zoning compliance, if you remember, we'd asked for that little piece of sidewalk on Sugar Hollow to make that connection to the off-ramp to I-84, which then crosses over to the car dealership, the old Bed Bath & Beyond site. And I think that's it. Pretty straightforward. If you have any questions, please let me know.
Any questions for Jen? This one's been around for a while. We've had a significant amount of discussion on this particular application, a couple of delays here and there, but I think the resolution is straightforward. Helen, Perry, anything for Jen?
I don't have anything more. I think, like you said, we've had a lot of discussion on this, and I think we're pretty squared away on it.
Great.
I would agree with Helen. I think we're good to go.
Thank you, Mr. Sylvain. Hearing that, I'll entertain a motion to approve the resolution of approval with conditions.
I would like to make that motion to approve this application with conditions as stated in the resolution dated to February 23rd, 2023.
Motion made. Do I hear a second? Mr. Sylvain?
Second.
Thank you. Motion made and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? This resolution of approval with conditions is approved. Okay, we're going to keep moving. Let me just, oh, wait, there we go. Item 2, forgive me, under old business for discussion of possible action, MS Portfolio LLC. Revised floodplain permit for revised site plan for Target Corporation, Danbury Fair Mall, 7 Bacchus Avenue, F17014, special exception 771. We did receive some information on this, distributed the request for the revised floodplain permit, and also, excuse me, the draft resolution for floodplain permit. Jennifer.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. As I'm sure most of you know, read it in the paper and have just heard, Target is coming to the mall. We granted their approval. It was just a revised site plan. It was retail to retail, but they did, because of the site improvements, it did trigger the requirement for a floodplain permit, which is what you have before you. So they're going in the former Sears space. Some of the site improvements included the addition of a concrete entrance plaza on the backside, and landscaping at the lower level entrance, and redesign of portions of the parking lot to accommodate tenant operations. There are no changes to the footprint. The base flood elevation is 454.4. Again, that's the known elevation out there established by the Army Corps. The site plan shows site improvements are within the limits of Zone A. The activities are minimal. They're really focused on the rear of the site. And because of the changes in the grade, and they did a tiny bit of filling, and then because of some of those grading activities, it's a net gain of 351 cubic yards of additional floodplain storage. So it's a good thing. If it was a fill, they'd have to compensate for that. So again, that storage is available, and it gives us about 351 cubic yards of storage. Staff has noted that provisions of 7A5C and 7A6 have been met. Number 1 has to do with complying with the approved plans. Number 2, the applicant's engineer shall certify in writing that the project was constructed pursuant to the approved plans, including but not limited to verification that the cart corrals are appropriately anchored and the sign pole bases are filled with sand. Said certification shall be submitted to planning and zoning and the ZEO. And then any modification requires them to come back for a revised floodplain permit. Pretty straightforward.
Excellent. So not too big of a disruption here. That's good to hear. And it's also good to hear that somebody else is going into the mall. This has nothing to do with the floodplain, but what's going on with their current location?
Which one? The one in Bethel?
Yeah. Are they gonna move on?
They're expanding like crazy out there. I was actually just out there.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Really? Right.
Yeah, their Target is doing very well.
Mhm.
So, but we are happy they are coming to Danbury.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Okay, getting back to the floodplain permit, commission members, do you have any questions for Jen on her report?
No,
Okay,
I do
None
not.
here.
if you're so inclined, a motion to approve the revised floodplain permit as submitted,
Okay, want me to do that? Okay.
you're welcome
Motion
to.
to approve the revised floodplain permit as submitted.
Thank you, Perry. Second, Helen?
I'll second that.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? This revised floodplain permit is approved. All right, we're moving. We're gonna go right to referrals. 824 referral, February, City Council Agenda Item number 7, lease and purchase of 98 Elm Street, I-14050. And we did get a report on this. Forgive me. It's here somewhere in the pile. Well, as I look for my copy, my paper copy of the report, I always make paper copies, so I'm organized, and here I am. So with that, so here it is. Jen, go ahead. Walk us through that report if you would.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. City Council received a request from Mayor Esposito to enter into agreements with the Housing Authority to lease and purchase a Housing Authority-owned property located at 98 Elm Street. The subject property is approximately little over 16,000 square feet in size. It's located in the RH3 zoning district. The property contains 2 buildings, a 2-family dwelling located towards the front of the property, and a 3-story structure located in the rear portion of the lot. The department granted site plan approval in December 1990 to the Housing Authority to construct the rear structure as a 20-bed, single-room occupancy home, the use of which was for a nonprofit city-sponsored shelter for displaced persons. In 1990, a 2-family dwelling and a shelter were both permitted uses in the zone. Subsequently, the regulations were revised, I believe in 2014, to make shelters a special exception use. The 2-family structure remains a permitted use in that zone. In 2018, the use of the 2 structures on the lot was deemed legal non-conforming by the zoning enforcement officer. Neither use has been abandoned, although the structures have been vacant for some time. The purpose of the agreements is to allow the city to address its urgent need to provide shelter for those experiencing homelessness. As noted above, the shelter use is a legal non-conforming use and is ready for imminent occupation. While the lease allows the city to demolish the 2-family dwelling, the condition of which warrants said demolition, there is no intent to abandon their use. The purchase agreement obligates the city to close on the property by September 15th of this year and provides the city with the right to assign its obligation to a third party. In this regard, discussions between the city and Pacific House have been underway to assign, to assign the purchase obligation to Pacific House under certain conditions and dependent upon state funding to Pacific House for the purchase. Should conditions not be met and/or funding not available, the obligation to purchase, if not assigned to another party, would still remain with the city. Therefore, consistent with the 2023 POCD, which recommends ensuring that the needs of the homeless are met, these agreements constitute, together with the opening of the city's new street shelter, a plan to address the needs of this vulnerable population. As such, staff has no objection to issuance of a positive recommendation for the lease and purchase of 98 Elm Street for the use as a shelter. The recommendation is issued subject to the review and approval of all agreements by Corporation Council, as well as any additional terms deemed appropriate from City Council. Any questions?
Any questions? And again, I just want to remind the commission members that this again, and you've heard me say it before, but I think it warrants repeat. So this is a this is an 824 referral. The legislative body in Danbury that has the ultimate authority over this is the city council. It has been sent to us as a referral. A referral, as you know, is a limited presentation. There is no public hearing. We do not hear people speaking in favor or against. There certainly is no applicant speaking. Our primary source of information on a referral is the planning and zoning department. So I just wanted to remind everybody of our sort of limited role as opposed to a final role in this matter. With that said, is there any questions for Jen on the referral?
Nope, I think I read this thing pretty thoroughly, and I think Jen's explanation was pretty thorough in the staff report and now. Thank you, Jen.
Thank you.
I think my
Great.
questions were answered.
Fantastic. If
I agree
there's,
as well.
if there's no discussion, then I'll entertain a motion for a positive referral.
All right, I'd like to make a motion for a positive referral on this referral.
Second,
A motion made and seconded for a positive referral on this matter. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed. This matter gets a positive referral. We're going to, there's a couple of commission members, a couple of items under new business. There's 3. You can take a quick look at those and when they are scheduled to be heard. We have nothing under correspondence. We have a couple of, the 5-year extensions seem to have popped up again. We have 3 of them. Folks, you remember Savannah Hills? That was another request for a 5-year extension, slightly different circumstances, but we got a little bit of a refresher on that when we heard that particular 5-year extension under other matters. So Jen, I guess we'll go through each one individually, and if you want to just again remind everybody in brief about the 5-year extension or what Dan Casagrande talked about last time, feel free to do so.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So as you noted, we've got 3 of them tonight. We had, again, the first one was Savannah Hills, which we deemed was not eligible for that extension. And subsequently, the commission declared it expired. And then we had a special exception at the last meeting for an extension that was eligible. So we're getting them. And the first one we have is for Beechwood Grove, which was a 5-lot subdivision that was approved by the commission April 2008. Based on the statutes and our interpretation of the statutes, this application is eligible for an extension no more than 19 years, which brings them to April 16th, 2027. Again, they get 14 years and the statutes allow for that additional 5, so it's a total of 19 years.
Everybody okay with that? Any questions on the extension? I know we went through it a lot at the previous meeting, so I don't know if we have to go through that again, but any discussion? Anyone want to, any concerns about the 5-year extension on this?
I
If
think
there are-
we're getting pretty good at navigating these hopping timelines.
I know. Like this, 2008 was a long time ago, but what do you do? Okay, commission members, unless there's anything else, I'll entertain a motion to approve the 5-year extension.
So moved?
Second.
Motion made and seconded to approve the 5-year extension. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed. Okay, Jen, 1 for 1. Let's go right to number 2. Request for 5-year extension of site plan approval in accordance with Public Act 21-163, Glenbrook Estates, 11 Pembroke Road and Stacy Road, special exception number 660. This one was approved December 19, 2007.
Yes.
5-year granted December 19, 2021. Jen.
Mr. Chairman, so again, this is eligible under the Public Act for an additional extension. This is, so Glenbrook Estates, this is 11 Pembroke Road. It's at corner of Pembroke and Stacy Road, right next to the Amber Room. It was approved December 19th, 2007. Based on the statutes, they're eligible for the 19 years, which brings them to December 19th, 2026.
Commission members, questions, concerns, issues with this extension?
This is the same thing, you know, so
Yeah,
Same thing, warmed over.
Exactly.
It's just
So-
that the difference is the last one was a subdivision. This is, again, the commission approved the grant of special exception and the site plan approval. The special exception doesn't expire. The site plan does in fact. So that's what the extension, it's an extension of the site plan approval. But because the commission approved it, you have the, you're required to grant the extension.
Thank you for that clarification, Jennifer. Any other questions? And if not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the 5-year extension.
So moved.
Second,
Motion made and seconded to approve the 5-year extension. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, please say aye. Aye.
aye.
Opposed. The Glenbrook Estates extension is approved. And we go to number 3, request for 5-year extension of subdivision approval in accordance with Public Act 21-163, Candlewood Pines, 65 to 67 Bear Mountain Road, subdivision number 0801, approved October 1, 2008. 5-year extension granted to October 1st, 2022. Janet,
Mr. Chairman, this is the extension of subdivision, again, Candlewood Pines, which is located 6567 Bear Mountain Road. It was approved by the commission October 1st, 2008, based on their eligibility for the extension. No more than 19 years gets them to October 1st, 2027.
okay. So the first one was a subdivision, the second one was a site plan approval, and this third one is a vector subdivision. Okay.
Correct.
Commission members, questions, issues for Jennifer on this third and final 5-year extension?
No.
Nice and simple, straightforward. I'll entertain a motion to approve the request for a 5-year extension.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Mr. Sylvain, seconded by Ms. Hofstadter. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed. This request for 5-year extension is approved. There's a couple of matters there for reference only. Take a look. And Jen, am I missing? I feel like I went fast. Am I missing anything or do we hit it all?
No, we hit it all.
Well, thanks for writing very concise reports. They're very easy to understand and they're very comprehensive. So thank you.
Thank
Great.
you. It was a department effort.
Okay, Ally, thank you too. We don't want to forget Ally here.
Sharon too. Sharon helped too. So
The whole Joanne Reed, everybody. What a-
yeah, the whole department. Again, it's a group effort.
Anything else, commission members? I think you know what motion I'm waiting for now.
I will make a motion to adjourn.
Second,
Motion made and seconded. How you doing, Attorney Beecher? Everything okay?
I don't say.
Everything's great. I appreciate all the approvals tonight. Thank you.
All right. Oh, there we go.
It
That's
was a
good.
tough night.
Okay, motion made and seconded to adjourn. Any further discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Aye.
aye.
Opposed. This meeting is adjourned at 7:40.